हेलो दोस्तों। तो भाई वीडियो शुरू करते हैं। मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल जो है कंफ्यूज है कि भाई कौन सा फोन ले, 15 प्रो 16 प्रो, क्योंकि एआई दोनों में मिल रहे हैं, ठीक है, अपग्रेड के बाद। और ज़्यादातर फीचर्स भी सेम है। प्राइस में 20,000 का अंतर है, ठीक है। तो 20,000 के अंतर में कि भाई बिग बिलियन डेज में 20,000 रुपये का अंतर आ जाएगा, क्योंकि ये 93-94 का पड़ेगा कार्ड वार्ड लगा के, ठीक है, जो आईफोन 15 प्रो है। तो 16 प्रो मिलेगा 1,14,000 का कार्ड वार्ड लगा के। तो देखना ये कि जो 20,000 का अंतर है, ये क्या मतलब वर्थ इट है नहीं है।
Look at the iPhone 16 Pro and compare it against the
इस वीडियो में देखते हैं कि भाई भाई क्या बताता है 15 प्रो और 16 प्रो में क्या कंपैरिजन है, ठीक है, तो देखते हैं।
iPhone 15 Pro and see which particular iPhone is the better one for you. Now, I've been using the 15 Pro for the last year almost, and the 16 Pro is the latest generation of this one. It's supposed to be the successor. And here's the thing. There's a couple things I like about the 16 Pro. I think the 15 Pro is a very good phone still, and if you want to pick up, either one of these, links will be down in the description. You get it from there. You can help support the channel at the same time. But I think the 15 Pro is still a very good phone, and I really would not go from a 15 Pro to a 16 Pro, but there are some really cool things going on between both. So, first of all, on the exterior, the 15 Pro is actually a little bit of a smaller iPhone than the iPhone 16 Pro. So on the front of the 15 Pro, you're basically getting a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display
तो
line,
भाई
but
डिस्प्ले की
overall
बात हो
this is
गई, डिस्प्ले जो है इसका बड़ा, ये तो बात है
still
ही।
a very good this particular panel. I was like, I don't know how Apple could do any better, but it's a beautiful device, beautiful panel, and I think it looks very, very good for the most part. Now the 16 Pro, this is a little bit of a bigger sized screen. So this is now a 6.3-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display, and this thing looks
पर यार डिस्प्ले इतना बड़ा नहीं है कि इसके लिए 20,000 रुपये खर्च करे जाए, ठीक है। तो पहली चीज में तो हम नहीं करेंगे पैसे खर्च। दूसरा फीचर्स देख।
very, very good as well. Like I said before, I generally do a dynamic island, but it has thinner bezels all around, and it kind of is in this panel here, but I think it's the same too. With the 16 Pro and the 15 Pro, they're pretty much the same type of layout. USB Type-C ports on the bottom. On the right side, though, we do have this new camera button here, which is really cool. Where this antenna band used to be, it is now where this camera button is, and it actually is really cool because it allows you to use it. It's really cool. I'll show you how to do that kind of in a second. On the back side, you're getting your frosted glass backs, so it's still fairly similar, good
भाई मतलब अब तक सब कुछ सेम है, टाइप सी है, ठीक है, सब कुछ सेम है, बस वो कैमरा वाला बटन
layout
चेंज
for
है।
the most part, not too many issues here. But they both look very good, both have LiDAR sensors, and there's not really a lot of other crazy things going on here for the most part. So on the exterior, I would still say both these look very good. So that kind of covers it up there. Now from the software longevity side, this is something that's also very crucial to understand. Because the 16 Pro is the latest iPhone, and this one has the highest likelihood of outlasting the 15 Pro. So if you're wanting the phone that's going to last you for a longer period of time, the iPhone 16 Pro is going to be the one what I would one's going to last the longest right now, because they're both going to be lasting for many years. It's such a small difference there. So I want to get that out of the way as well. And you have to remember the 16 Pro is $1,000 phone. The 15 Pro has that Apple A17 Pro chip inside of it with 8 gigabytes of RAM. Where the iPhone 16 Pro has that Apple A18 Pro chip inside of it with 8 gigabytes of RAM as well. So
तो रैम दोनों में बराबर है यार, मतलब कि ये अब तक जितने फीचर्स थे एक्सटीरियर पार्ट से, तो दोनों सेम है। 15 प्रो 16 प्रो कोई डिफरेंस नहीं है बाहर से देखा जाए तो, ठीक है। रैम वगैरह जो है, प्रोसेसर में भी इतना फर्क नहीं है, A17 A18 इतना फर्क नहीं है, एक जैसी है।
So let's want to see which one's the faster phone between both. Okay, there we go. All the apps are cleared in the background. 16 Pro is here, iPhone 15 Pro is here. Let's open up some basic apps. Let's do cameras, 3, 2, 1. Okay, not too big of a difference here as far as I can tell. Let's take a photo, 3, 2, 1. So this one does have the sound on. I kind of forgot about that. And even with some basic stuff like this, there's not going to be an insane amount of difference here. Let's do their app stores, 3, 2, 1. This one is also on iOS 17.7. This was on iOS 18. So there's going to be a slight difference there.
Hello, Moto. Fly in the coop, but I need some more. My crew gonna wipe the floor. You're gonna
There
कोई
as well.
डिफरेंस नहीं है।
So scrolling through, let's see if there's any big differences here, which, as you probably would have guessed, is probably not going to be too insane. Let's tap back all the way to the top. Let's tap out of both these apps. And the 120 hertz definitely helps out a lot in both of these particular apps, or both these particular phones for the most part. Now, let's go and do something like, some basic applications here. We can try something like, now I did forget to download some applications here, so I'm going to Netflix 3, 2, 1. 2, 1. And the iPhone 16 Pro a little bit faster here. The 15 Pro a little slower, but you're not going to notice these types of differences, I don't think. And with this one, you can kind of see again. So some slight them side. I would probably tell you the iPhone 16 Pro with having that addition of that 120 frames per second in 4K is really, really nice. And it's going to be overall a better camera. But even in the camera in the video mode, you can see here, for zooming in, 9x zoom on the iPhone 15 Pro, 15x zoom on the iPhone 16 Pro.
जूम में फर्क है यार, 59 मतलब ये 9x तक जा रहा है, 15x तक बहुत
That's
बड़ा
going to be a pretty big
डिफरेंस
advantage for
है।
the 16 Pro when it kind of comes down to it. But you can still zoom in via the screen. But that is a very nice thing that you have inside of the iPhone 16 Pro. So if I'm going to pick up a camera, I do like the iPhone 16 Pro a lot because of that. The camera apps themselves still act and they're fairly similar. There's not too many differences here. But I would probably tell you the iPhone 16 Pro do on the iPhone 16 Pro. On top of that, you're still getting fairly similar modes between the most part, but you can also see with the camera button on the iPhone 16 ultra wide telephone 20 than the iPhone camera applications between both, because as you probably would have expected, there's a lot of similarity here, right? There's not really like too many differences as far as you can tell. This is kind of what the camera layout looks. But if you go and zoom in the max on the iPhone 15 Pro, you zoom in the max on the iPhone 16 Pro, you can see you can do 25x zoom on the 16 Pro, where the 15 Pro is 15x. So there's a lot more zooming in that you can do on the iPhone 16 Pro. On top of that, you're still getting fairly similar modes between the most part, but you can also see with the camera button on the iPhone 16 Pro, you can like zoom in. That is a very nice Pro a lot. I'll probably tell you the iPhone 16 Pro with having that addition of that 120 frames per second in 4K is video mode. That's going to be a pretty big advantage for the iPhone 15 Pro.
तो यार फोटो में तो बहुत ज़्यादा डिफरेंस है 15x और 25x का डिफरेंस बहुत ज़्यादा डिफरेंस है और वीडियो में 9x का और 15x का
And I didn't have missing really is that reason why the phone is you don't
पर क्लैरिटी मतलब देखा जाए ना तो ओवरऑल यार बनता नहीं अपग्रेड करना ठीक है तो अगर ऐसा है ना कहीं पे डील में आपको अगर 20,000 के डिफरेंस प्रो मिल रहा है तो 16 प्रो लेने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है 15 प्रो का नेचुरल टाइटेनियम कलर ठीक है यार जो भी पसंद का हो जाके खरीद लो कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है पैसा वेस्ट करने का ठीक है क्योंकि खास अपग्रेड दिया ही नहीं यार हाँ पर ये है कि 13 14 15 16 में से कोई खरीदना हो तो 16 जाके खरीद लो ठीक है 16 के अलावा कुछ है ही नहीं उसमें तो पर प्रो की बात करें तो 15 प्रो 16 प्रो से बढ़िया है 14 प्रो पे तो जाना ही नहीं ठीक है